Welcome to the fourth and final raid of the 5.4 patch, Eden's Promise Eternity. Here you will fight Eden's Promise itself? We say it because good luck trying to guess what this identifies as. Let's kick its ass. Maleficium is just a standard, hits the entire raid AoE, healers do the heal thing. However, this next part is the core mechanic of the entire fight, which are these crystals that are going to be cast. So once Eden's Promise center stage here, all these crystals will indicate what kind of attack you can expect. So always pay attention to the tether and then pay attention to the crystal. You will need to know what each of these do, so let's run through them. First up is Leviathan, the blue crystal. This is going to shoot things down the sides of the battlefield, so make sure you're positioned dead center and facing the crystals. Next up is going to be the green crystal or Garuda. This is going to shoot a straight plus down the middle and sides of the field, so position yourself at a diagonal to be nice and safe. Next up is the purple crystal or Rama. This is a very simple point blank AoE and a very small one at that, so just move a little bit and then get back into position. Lastly, we have Infrit, the red crystal. This is going to shoot pretty much the entire battlefield except for the extreme sides. Make sure you're positioned over there so you don't get burnt to death. Really take the time to memorize these patterns because eventually they're going to overlap. But for now, these are just the initial ones. They come one at a time, but do know these patterns. It will be important. Formless Judgment is a double tank buster. Nothing fancy in terms of AoE, just use cooldowns and survive. After a bit of this, the boss will decide it's time to do something else. So step upon these glowy discs, and let's begin the next part of the fight. From here you'll be killing all the adds on the different platforms before they can kill the crystal in the middle, however each has their own mechanic. On the first platform there's the stacking indicator and 2 people will be marked to move. They are going to be hit with cone AoEs, so move those off to the side and then join your friends. Once completed, you'll jump on another bouncy pad, and you'll be met with a couple stacking indicators. Make sure you split your group into 4 as much as you can. Take that damage together, which will spawn a couple adds. Once these adds are ultimately killed, you will see a big push indicator. Position yourself towards the front of this and not off to the edges. The indicator does go wider than the platform, and survive. Time to jump on your favorite bouncy pad, and then you'll encounter a bunch of lions. Make sure you kill all these nice and quick. Once you do, there'll be a massive push indicator from the middle. Stand right on top of your best friends Rena and Gaia and don't get killed. Take the very last bouncy pad and you'll be met with Eden's Promise deciding that they don't like you and blowing up the entire raid in the face. This begins the final phase of the fight. Our favorite crystals make a comeback, and now she's going to cast both Stock and Release. Stock is going to pull 2 different crystals at the same time, so you do need to memorize the patterns of both and figure out what would be safe if they both went off at the same time. Release can be cast much later than Stock, so do keep this constantly in your brain as you're doing other things in the fight. I'm sure you've noticed that I haven't talked about the far left or far right crystal so far. Far left is Titan and far right is Shiva. The boss is potentially going to cast either one of those at this point, so you'll notice the boss here first took stock of 2 other crystals, and then the boss is going to pick one of these with the Junction ability. In this case it's Junction Shiva. That ability doesn't do anything in and of itself, the actual cast comes with Diamond Dust here. You're going to want to make sure that you spread out as a group at this point in time, because the boss is going to turn the entire arena into an ice rink, and then going to target a handful of you with targeted AoEs. Sliding around here would be very annoying. Immediately following that, you'll notice a stacking indicator. The ice rink is going to disappear and everybody needs to run over there. Immediately following this will be Rapturous Reach, which is a combination of a half room AoE in addition to a bunch of targeted AoEs. Survive all of that, and then you're good to go. P.S. Did you remember what crystals were stored? Because here comes the release. Sweet, sweet release. The Titan variant of this is very similar. First the boss will pull a stock of 2 crystals, remember this, and then the boss will do a Junction Titan. Junction Titan doesn't do anything in and of itself, however it is a telegraph to let you know it's coming. And from here the boss is going to cast Earthen Fury. Pay attention to the AoE damage that's coming out here, but then in addition to that, pay attention to the placement of the boulders around the room. You're going to see big boulders and little boulders, so first identify where the big boulder is and get to the opposite side of the room, and then make sure you're standing on the second set of boulders that spawned and then run to the first. The exact opposite of what you see me do here. From there, our old friend Rapture's reach shows back up, so you have your stacking indicator and a room-wide AoE from the front, and then it transitions back to the regular old fight again. Oh, and did you remember those crystals that were stored? Because here comes the release! Navigate all of those mechanics, and Eden's promise will fall to its knees and be super sad. You have completed Eden's Promise Eternity. Duty complete, and you are a champion. I've been Keylime, thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting.